Welcome back to another episode of It's in the Details, the Big Brother edition. My name is Damien,
And I am Roger.
and oh my lord, we got to
What
get
a week.
into this week. What
a week.
Week.
It was a good one.
It's like a week that you dreamed.
It's like the opposite of last week.
Yes, but also crafted by your brain. Like if you could come up with a week, this would have been it.
Right.
So let's get started. We jump into the HOH. They're hanging off the wall, the classic wall hanging competition.
It went exactly opposite of what I thought people would do.
Really?
Like how well they would do. I said,
yeah.
Anyone that was short and thin would do well in this challenge, and that was not the case.
Yeah. I don't know if it made the episode, but I thought Xavier had a chance to win. He didn't want to. He didn't want to, so he didn't, right? But he
just didn't want to make sure that other people didn't win.
But you weren't all the way wrong. Alyssa was in there right to the very end.
Yeah, she was the only one of the ones that I thought would do well that went the distance.
And I'd like to give some props to Azah, because Azah hung in there for an hour and 15 minutes, and I would not have thought that was going to happen. But we've got Alyssa thinking she can win. She doesn't. Derek F off first, which I'm not sure made the episode either, but I
6 minutes. 6 minutes.
And then we've got Alyssa being upset and pissed that she didn't win and that nobody threw it to her. And I was like, listen, lady, show up ready to win or leave quietly, please. Right?
I think she made a comment like, why couldn't Derek X give me the win? Like, that's not how this works.
Win it. Just win it.
Yeah.
Win it.
Yeah.
So Derek X wins. On his path to the win, he promises Alyssa safety and he promises Xavier safety.
Right. Which is this is like a big talking point for the rest of the week.
Yes. Yeah.
Xavier
gets down off the wall after the competition's over, and he says, by the way, the kings are safe too. Keep the king safe too. Right. Which is particularly weird for a multitude of reasons, right?
Tons of reasons.
One, you're already off the wall. You lost that chance, right? Two, you're all in the royal flush together. You and Derek X are in the royal flush together.
Right.
Why aren't you already assuming that he's going to keep these people safe? Right. I thought that was so strange.
Yeah. Like they had just switched to an individual game.
Yes.
And then can you imagine going to McDonald's? Right, you go up to the window, you do the little mic thing. You're like, I want combo number 1. You drive up, and then you're at the window, and they're about to hand you the food, and you're like, can you throw in combo number 2 as well?
Yeah,
and can't you change the deal after the fact?
At the drive-through, they're sending you to a parking spot. You're gonna have to go wait over there.
They're gonna tell you to go back the fucking thing and pay for it. Like, just throwing in food.
Yeah, so he just threw that in. And then we get a little interesting situation where we've got Tiffany, Hannah, and Derek X discussing after the head of household has gone down. And Tiffany drops the fact about the royal flush. Hannah does not know, can't hide her face, looks at the camera right away. She gasps with her face. We gasp at home audibly.
This whole section of the show was hilarious because the way that when she confronted him, and then he was like, wait, did I screw up? Like he immediately thought it was him.
Yes.
And then when she's talking to Tiffany about it later, and then she was like, he told you, didn't he?
Yeah.
And then you, no, it was you. Like both of those are just like classic.
But even further than that, like Hannah showing the kind of G that she is, right? She finds out this information, doesn't say anything. Waits for the two of them to split up. Then she confronts Derek X so she can get whatever lie he's about to give her. And then she confronts Tiffany so she can get whatever lie she's going to give her. I was like, this girl.
Patience.
Oh, man.
The patience on her, man.
So good. So good.
Yeah, it was the best way to handle that situation.
You thought Tiffany was the number 1. I'm saying it might be Hannah. It might be Hannah.
but all three of them have
Yes.
made similar blunders this season, and
Yeah.
they need to rein that in.
Yeah. Yeah. Too comfortable. They're all too comfortable. They're not
Yeah.
scared enough. They got to be more scared.
Stop making mistakes.
I don't know if you caught this, but Tiffany, like every scene in this episode, Tiffany's eating cereal.
Eating cereal.
Did you notice this?
I did not notice this, but now that you mention it, yeah, it's true.
And the problem is one scene is Fruit Loops. The next scene is
Cocoa Puffs.
I'm like, how much cereal a day, lady? Yeah. And she
I wonder if it's part of her diet, like, because I know that they're like told to fill out like what kind of food they want.
Yeah.
And they see what they can get. And I bet you like she must have put like a whole bunch of cereal brands. Like, because it's probably one of the more easier things for them to like stock up on.
Yeah, true.
Who knows? I don't know. Who knows?
But it cracked me up. I'm like, I like cereal, but I don't like cereal like Tiffany likes cereal. That's a lot of cereal.
Right.
And then we've got the conversation, a deeper conversation between Derek X and Xavier in the head of household room, talking about what the royal flush and the kings, and can we keep these people safe? And Derek X, I think, used a similar analogy as you used to, you can't come back after the fact and tell me you want to add some extra to the deal. But just cagey. All of it's so cagey. Like nobody really wants to show their cards, and they're all in the same alliance.
The fact that Xavier did that, I think, may have been the crack in the foundation of the royal flush for what's about to happen for the rest of the week.
You think so?
I think it helped push it in that direction.
Okay. Then just another little fun thing that stuck out to me. You're always talking about Derek F not giving a fuck about anything.
Right.
My man's falling asleep everywhere. He's falling asleep in full rooms. He's falling asleep on top of people. He's falling every time he's asleep. He's got his sunglasses on. Have you ever fallen asleep with some sunglasses on?
Well, I think the reason they do that is so they can get Big Brother to get off of them, because they're not really allowed to nap. Like they're on the show. Like we need footage from the time that you're awake. So everything I've always heard is they've always tried to like wake them up. Like even when I watch live feeds, if someone's trying to take a nap, they'll be like, "Hey, you, Damien, wake up!" Like don't sleep. So I think they wear glasses to hide their eyes being closed. But yeah, the power of editing.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
true. So then we get to the end of the episode. Derek X decides he's going to put up Sarah Beth, and Brittany.
After he like talks to everyone and being like, "Do you mind?
Yes,
what happens if you get put up? What happens if you get put up?" I thought that was kind of good and bad.
Yeah,
it's a good way to gauge what reactions, and then you can properly decide what to do.
But not just put up. Like, what if I use you as a pawn?
As a pawn, right?
I'm trying to ensure your safety while I'm asking about putting you up for elimination.
Right.
And you thought it was so, right?
So, yeah, because like you might piss off the wrong people. Like not everyone might be as receptive to that.
It appears that Brittany has not gone into a full meltdown, but they start the veto episode and she's gone into a full meltdown again.
Right.
She can't help herself, right? The Kings,
the block.
Yeah, of course. And I kind of agree with her. It's like, there's no one else in this house you want to put up. There's no one else.
It's like what I said. Like once you become that person that survives, it's like that's your role.
Yeah. So the Kings are confused. They're big time confused. They don't know what's going on. Derek X ends up in the head of household room with Sarah Beth. Okay. And this was poetry in motion. Sarah Beth decides she's going to give Derek X the silent treatment. And he decides, I'm going to answer your silent treatment with silent treatment. And they're just both staring at each other.
But she ends up winning.
He bails. He caves.
Yeah. She even says like, I'm going to sit here until he caves. And then he did. Like, right. Like,
oh, my God. And not just cave, diarrhea of the mouth. Just here's my whole idea. This is what we're doing, right? And he tells Sarah Beth, I want a backdoor Christian. And Sarah Beth rolls on this dude like it was her idea. I couldn't believe, like, I get why she did. I'm on the block. I don't want to go home, blah, 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 blah. But she flipped on that dude so fast. It was hilarious to me.
Yeah. Survival mode kicked in there. Yeah.
Yes. So then we have the rest of the kings in the room with Derek X. And he comes up with a story about what he wants to do. And the kings look at him and they're like, okay, we get it. We get it. But Christian is looking at him like, what are you talking about? He has this pissed look on his face. And I'm like, what's up with Christian? He's not buying it. Then we go to the diary room and Christian is telling us how he's on board with Derek X's plan. And I'm like, is Christian as dumb as Roger has been saying, right? He's confused in the room, doesn't know what's going on, looks angry because he's angry. And then people tell him after the fact, this is what Derek X's plan is. And he's like, oh, okay, I'm cool with
that. He's a great competitor. I don't think he's a very good strategic player. I mean, that's it. That's it.
I'm cool with that. I like that plan.
Yeah.
Then one of my favorite things almost happens. Big Brother has this way of providing you with these moments where people almost screw up so badly. Alyssa is talking to Sarah Beth, and she says, if I win this veto, I'm going to use it on you to save you.
Right.
And if that happens, then Christian goes up because Alyssa saved somebody else.
Right.
And I want it to happen so badly. So badly. Then the veto picks happen and Alyssa gets picked for veto.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's going to happen. It's got to happen.
Yeah. It kind of seemed like they were leading that way.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. But
it's just funny this, like, there's later down the road where she realizes.
Yes. And she confronts.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's like, how did you not see that before? Like, yeah.
She wasn't thinking.
Right.
But the rest of the veto picks are Claire and Kyland. It is one of those vetoes where you win prizes as you get eliminated.
Right. But more importantly, Christian, it was not chosen.
Yes, Christian was not chosen.
So this sets up the opportunity to backdoor a big threat.
Yeah, backdoor still on.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. This has gone in Derek X's favor right now.
Big time.
Yeah. If he wants to make that move, it's now very possible to do.
Yeah. Sarah Beth gets knocked out second, right?
Right.
And she decides not to take the veto from whoever, I can't remember who got knocked out first.
Right.
And it's a good decision because Brittany's still in the game. So at some point,
she got out too early.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. You're gonna take the veto, and someone's gonna take it from you. So what's the point? At least
you're gonna get
hold
a
on to
punishment,
something,
right?
Yeah.
So you get this $5,000 prize,
right?
And everybody's pissed.
It's not a good look. It's not a good look.
But it's also facts, right?
Yeah, but she's in the know of the plan. So it's a little exposing. Like, wait, why does she feel so comfortable to take the money? But like, yeah,
there's so many people behind me, and the other person on the block, is gonna come get it anyway, right? Like, I'm on board. It's not a good look at all.
It's just not a good look. Yeah,
but,
right. The next part is what kind of ticked me off a bit, but continue.
Okay, so we go. The rest of the competition is the rest of the competition, except for the final round. The final round, they move to this new competition where they put their head in a helmet and they have to smash their heads back and forth to collect points. And Alyssa looks like everybody else on Earth, I would imagine.
Yeah,
she can't do it that well because your
Brittany
brain
went into,
your brain is scrambling.
Yeah.
And Brittany goes machine gun.
She's in fucking God mode right now. She does not care about concussion protocol, nothing. No. She needs to get off the block.
Full send.
She's screaming like, like what the heck?
She beat Alyssa by 25.
Like running into battle, like on Braveheart. Like, it's just like, what is happening?
I want x-rays and CT scans of her head immediately. I want to see
Right.
what her head is made out of that
Right.
the rest of ours is not. So Brittany wins the veto, clobbers Alyssa, just
Right.
clobbers. Derek X gets a horrible punishment because he decides not to steal Sarah
Yeah,
Beth's
and
5,000.
this is the part where I'm a little ticked off because
Yeah.
Sarah Beth was Derek X third. Like, was he third? He was third, right? Yeah.
Yeah, because it was.
Yeah.
I think it was
And then
Kylan, Alyssa, and
it was
Brittany.
his time to grab a thing, and it was her 5,000s was for the picking there. Like he should have taken it.
Yeah.
But she's like, oh, please don't, no, don't do this to me. Like I don't blame him for not, because the look that she gave him was just like, I'm so poor, please don't do this for me. But
rough.
like
It was rough.
it was rough.
Yeah.
It was real rough. I didn't like it. Like I didn't like it.
Very childish.
Yeah. Like we're in a game, like you got out second. Like this is what happens. Like,
we're not even really
this is how it's happened for seasons and seasons. Like you should have done better. And then he's such a nice guy. This just shows what kind of character he is. He doesn't take it from her, and then he ends up getting the shitty punishment. So literally.
Lord of the latrine.
Yeah. Go on. We'll get to it for the next episode.
That's it.
Over there. Okay.
Lord of the latrine. These people, listen, I use the bathroom a lot. I'd probably drink 2.5, 3 liters of water every day.
I hit the washroom a bunch. Man, that must suck.
If I knew this dude had to come unlock the bathroom for me every time I had to go, I'd go less.
I think so.
I'd definitely go less.
Yeah. And I would feel really bad when I had to go poop.
Yeah.
Like really bad.
Because he's got to stand there.
Yeah, I'm
that whole
so
time.
sorry. Yeah. I might even like wait in there and like let it air out before I walked out. Like, I'm so sorry. Like it's don't go in there. Just close the door. Like
so then it's obvious to everyone Brittany's gonna save herself, clearly. And someone's got to be a replacement nominee. Now, Derek X has had this plan to backdoor Christian for probably multiple weeks now, not just as soon as he won. And he decides, I'm going to try and play the perfect game. I'm going to try and be greedy, have my cake and eat it too. I'm going to tell Alyssa I'm putting Christian up before we get to the veto ceremony so I can still have Alyssa's trust and have her in my back pocket.
Crazy.
And boom goes the dynamite.
Alyssa tells Christian. Xavier then comes into the conversation. It becomes an open forum in the fucking room.
Yep.
Christian has to pretend that he doesn't know because Alyssa leaves the room and then tells him. He gets super pissed.
Chaos.
Like, obviously. And it was, but he still acts like he doesn't know, which I like. At least he's not that dumb, right?
He did well.
Yeah. Like, to throw this under the bus. But like, the one thing that I don't like about this is
the one thing
there's no discussion around it. The fact that you've thought about it and now have voiced it is just as good as you taking the shot.
Yeah.
Like, you've loaded the gun. It's too late.
Yeah, you already shot it.
Like there's no going back on it, and at least in my opinion. If someone were thinking about taking me out and we're in an alliance and he somehow changed his mind, I would be coming for him next. Yeah. Like it's just Yeah.
You gotta keep your mouth shut and put the man up. That's it. Don't tell Alyssa. If you lose Alyssa, you lose Alyssa. But she doesn't have that many allies anyway. Right. So just shut up and put him up. But anyway, he doesn't. One piece I loved about how he handled some of that was Sarah Beth comes in the room. She's not supposed to know about the backdoor, right?
Yeah.
And on the spot, Derek X comes up with a fairly legitimate lie.
Right.
To everyone's face. Sarah Beth rolls with it. I was impressed by both of them. So they kept it under wraps that they've been in discussions. And then Big Brother has the nerve to end the goddamn episode and not give us the veto ceremony. Right. So they load up the next episode. and we get Derek X nominating Christian. I don't know if you were watching the faces, but nobody seemed shocked. Nobody seemed happy. And I kind of feel like it might be because of the blow up that happened right before the ceremony. Maybe everybody knew, but I was still surprised.
That and the whole, like, it makes sense. Like, this is like, he didn't compete. This is where you take the shot. Like, he shouldn't feel bad. Like, he should have. It was just bad luck. Like, he didn't get chosen, and he didn't. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I feel bad for him, but a guy like that, you got to take out as a backdoor. That's just that's what that move was made for. Was to take out the original comp beast like that. Jace, I think it was. Nokomis came up with it to take out Jace back in like fucking forever ago. I just know about the legacy of Nokomis coming up with the backdoor plan, because back then people that never even heard of that, they never even thought of it. Yeah.
Big Brother history. So Christian hits Derek X with another raggedy pitch. Just so pitches just all the time, all the passion in the world, no context. And it's like, go ahead.
That was his biggest problem, is thinking that he could get to him.
Yeah.
That he could make him change his mind. Like, and that he had any power in around the rest of right. The moment that he nominated you, he lost all power. Like, he's done. He's done for the week.
Talk to everybody else.
Talk to everyone else. Like, the damage has been done.
Christian, while you more so than me, but I tend to agree. While he may not be the smartest, he shows some great perception. He's talking to Tiffany, trying to get Tiffany's vote. And he tells Tiffany, when you hugged me after the veto ceremony, you hugged me like you were saying goodbye. And I was like, I jotted it down in my notes because I'm like, what if Christian is right? Like, he actually goes home and he felt that hug. They showed a replay of the hug. I was like, that is a goodbye hug. That's not just a regular, oh, I'm sorry, you're on the block hug. That's a I'm sending you home hug, and I know everybody else is too. Right. It was shocking. He was on something there. Also, can I say it is clear that Tiffany has been braiding Christian's hair, because there's a couple people it could be, right? But Tiffany has such a fondness for Christian.
Yeah.
That fondness is built on time spent braiding your hair, bro. Right. That's what happened. All those hairdos you hate, Tiffany. Right. Tiffany did it all. Also, I am sad because it appears the cookout is fractioning. There's rain coming on the horizon.
Man, who's it coming from?
The cicadas are rolling in. The mosquitoes. Well, it seems the only people we can rely on in the cookout are Xavier and Hannah.
Right.
That's it. Kylan.
Tiffany.
I don't know what to say.
They're the core four, I think.
Who?
And then Xavier, Kylan, Tiffany, and Hannah. And then the other two are like on the outs, even more so after this episode.
Well, Derek F almost blew it up.
Well, I know. That's what I mean. Him and are we at that part? Him and Az are like, oh, I'm gonna be your bodyguard when they. So to recap, there's one point where Christian then comes into the Joker's room and is like, hey, Brittany, you're being summoned to the HOH room. And Azza and Derek F are like, why?
Who? Why and who?
Yeah. I mean, well, she'll go with you. We're coming with too, basically. Like, we can go.
But Christian says Tiffany is summoning her to the HOH room. And that's what piques their interest. Yeah. Because they both hate Tiffany.
But like, why? You guys are in the same alliance. Like, the way they went about this is like, dude, you're now putting yourselves out of the 6. Like, you're now making a 4 on 2. Like, yeah, I've been seeing this for weeks now. Yes, like Derek F has been setting himself up to be one of the first people out of the cookout, and I don't know why he's doing that, but
because he feels like Tiffany thinks she can boss people around. Which she might be doing, right?
She might be doing, but that's you gotta take her out then.
Yeah, take
Like,
it and take it in
get
stride.
get a bunch of people and then take her out, but like don't attack from the front, you know?
Yeah.
Attack from the sides, the back,
Yeah. Yeah.
like you're doing it so aggressively, and like I don't know.
That's what he is. And he's running around the house calling Tiffany a bitch
Wow,
over and
yeah,
over again. I'm like, hey, dude, this is not a good look at
no,
all.
no.
So it's like you look erratic, you look reckless, you
Mhm,
look like you have no manners,
mhm.
just running around the house calling people bitch. Like
His
this
whole attitude in the
disappointing.
house, his whole attitude in the house is weird. Like I've been saying, like he has this attitude like he doesn't give a fuck about anyone. I saw a clip from the live feeds where it was Sarah Beth's birthday. They
Mm.
had like a cake and everyone was in the kitchen and
Oh, I
like
can't wait to hear
they're
this.
singing happy birthday to her. Guess where Derek F is?
At the
Doing the
bathroom?
dishes. He's doing the dishes. He has his back turned. He's the only one not participating. He's just doing the dishes. Like he doesn't. It doesn't give a fuck at all. I'll try to find it and give it to you.
Yes,
It's
please.
so funny. It's like this guy doesn't care. I don't
That's
think he thinks he's on
amazing.
a show.
That's amazing. Um, so there's a last ditch effort to try and flip the votes in Christian's favor. And I would say Tiffany is one of the people leading it.
That's why I told that story. Is Tiffany was trying to switch the votes, so she sent Christian to go get Brittany because they need Brittany.
Yep.
Um,
Tiffany, Xavier. I can't remember who else is trying to flip it. Claire.
like yeah, Claire
They need
because
Brittany,
Tiffany. Yeah,
and then they already have Alyssa.
right.
Yeah. So they're working to
They're
try and
trying to
flip.
see if they can save him. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And they're working hard. And for a second, it seems like it might happen.
right.
But then these votes come down, and it is 7-2. Christian, you're going home. Derek F, sadly, to votes Christian.
Oh, dude, I text you. I don't know. You got my text, right? I text you right away when I watched it. I'm like, this motherfucker. I am convinced he's doing it on purpose.
Has to be.
Convinced.
He has to be.
Because like Julie didn't correct him after.
No.
He did that. I sadly evoke Christian. It sounded like evoke, but I think you go back, it's vote. I still don't know what that means. It's the what is it, the 5th week now?
Then he talks to Julie. I don't have anything to say about him talking to Julie. Did anything stick out to you with him talking to Julie? Nothing, right?
He probably was the most self-aware of all the people that have been coming out.
Surprising.
He was he was the only one that wasn't like, I was the mastermind. I knew all of this. He's like, no, he was the closest to I got. Right.
Yeah. It also happened right in front of his face.
Right.
So maybe not too much credit for him. Then Julie does a little tease and tells us there's going to be a new thing coming out called the High Roller. There's going to be a high roller room.
If I had to guess, I know we're short on time, but like if I had to guess, Derek X, Hannah, and Alyssa get the top tier. Like a Tiffany, Xavier get the middle tier, and then like the Derek F's and Brittany,
Azza,
they're gonna get the lower tier. So like the top 3 get 100, the next 3 get 75, and then everybody else gets 50 bucks.
Yeah, but I do have a question about Sarah Beth. Do you think Sarah Beth knows that the 2 people that voted against her are probably her 2 closest allies, being Xavier and Alyssa?
Yeah.
And
yeah,
where does she go from here?
I mean, we might see a scene where each of them takes her aside, and they're like, hey, just so you know, like I'm not voting for you. It's nothing personal. I can't vote for the Christian.
And why? If I'm Sarah Beth, I'm like, why? Why couldn't you just vote
Alyssa? Alyssa, I get.
Yeah, Alyssa. Yes.
Xavier, it's like he's got a little bit more explaining to do, but yeah,
that's not a good look for
me. I don't know.
Once again, thank you very much for joining us on It's in the Details, the Big Brother edition. As always, please remember to share, like, subscribe, rate, review, comment, wherever you get the show.
You can follow me on socials. I'm I6 Hitman, basically everywhere. So if you're looking for me, that's where you can find me.
See you next week, y'all. Take care. Peace.
See you guys.